On a mission to take over the rest of the world, it is Babel, and with Lark, he will be joining me as my sidekick for today, and that would be HoNTour Southeast Asia coverage again, another round, and this is round 6, impunity.storm versus KaiD. Both teams having a little bit of a bad blood from the previous cycle, and hopefully they will be able to do a little bit of a different game for this one. How are you doing, Lark, my little sidekick?
Uh, Good. Very, very good, I have to say. We're missing out on another two Avengers. We're probably over at Garena on stream. So, yeah. No, EGTV assemble. Not gonna be happening here today. But, yeah, Computer Storm KID, like you nicely mentioned. It's a lot of bad blood, I have to say. But I think Impunity Storm is looking pretty strong with the addition of Nox and Murph stepping in.
Yeah, I believe your microphone's having a little bit of trouble, but that being said, let's go into this game here. In the lobby, definitely things are looking to set its foot pretty quickly. We got a band heroes, and that's going to be a Sandrift, Keeper, Fate, and Tempest. And on Legion side, straight away, it's going to be Snap Pink Moon Queen.
Yeah. Is my mic better now?
Yeah, way better, man.
Okay, nice. Yeah, that Moon Queen, man. So we know that Nox just farms really, really fast with that Moon Queen with the multi-strike ability, and the Moon Finale is really good for team fights. He always likes to get in team fights when he can, always hanging onto that, the homecoming stone in case there's any team fight that's gonna be happening. But yeah, just coming from the bans there, Sandwave, Keeper, Forest, Fate, Tempest, very, very standard bans again. Needs no introduction. They're gonna get Engineer, by the way, on top of that. So good synergy, huge team fight ability over there. If they're gonna lock down the enemies inside the energy field while Moon Queen just uses that Moon Finale, but New Pens No Cry gonna go for that Pestilence, and we all know that Pestilence is just a really strong ganking hero.
That's right. So Pestilence as well as Hex gonna be on the L1 side, whereas on Legion team we do have the Moon Queen Engineer and the MOA. So dual guns from Wild West, the soulmates gonna unite from Impunity Storm side. I hope that they are able to do a little bit of extra ganking potential. Do note the Engineer plus MOA is always very favored in the trialing or pseudo trialing kind of situation where they are always exerting a lot of pressure on the opponent's carry. So that said, in this kind of a game, what kind of a heroes do you expect to be banned away?
For bans, well, I think we're definitely going to be looking forward to more middle hero bans coming up from Hellburn team because they've already secured that Pestilence. They even have secured their offlane. I do believe Hag is probably going to be that carry hero in the short lane there. So for Legion's team, I think they're probably just looking towards banning out the supports. As you see right there, Nova bans out Aluna right off the bat. I mean, they can ban all the supports they need to because they have their dual supports ready. Jungles don't really need to be addressed in this game. Maybe there is a possibility that Hellburn team decides to go something like a Parasite or Ophelia, but I don't really think that's gonna tie in really nicely with their current lineup. They want more presence in terms of ganking so that Pestilence can do a lot more.
That is correct, and yes, we definitely want Pestilence to do a lot more roaming as well as ganking, and that is spot on there. However, the bans are, like I nicely mentioned, the Luna, Prison 945, Pyromancer, and the Revenant being banned out. Revenant being one of Emperor's most, rather more successful heroes, and I would definitely be interested to see what kind of heroes he'll be playing. The Rally previously was a Murph, wasn't really successful. Rally on Emperor as well. I believe that his Pebbles has got limited amount of success, and I hope that it is not going to be banned away. Yep, there we go. It's not going to be banned. It's the Magmas and the Warbeast that has been banned away, and it's going to be a Snapping Bubbles all the way up from the Legion side. I do believe it's going to be played by Murph again.
Yeah, I mean Murph that time when we casted our game, she did a pretty good job. I mean she was the one that was practically carrying the team throughout the first couple of minutes in the game, like the very early stages, but eventually just couldn't take flight because it's a bubbles. You can't really rely 100% on it. It's not like a Richard Hag where he snowballs, gets a lot of farm, is able to open up space for your team. So bubbles will provide a lot of lockdown for Legion's lineup on top of that engineer, and it's just a really really good pickup overall for the team, and it's a good offlane hero. It's kind of hard to gank a bubbles.
Yeah, it is, and that's a lot of mobility on the bubbles, as well as survival skills that, don't forget, to take cover does nicely protect him from any form of external damage, and that is, in fact, a very perfect shell that he has. It's going to be a torture pickup on the way from Hellborn side, plus the Kraken, it would be pretty devastating. There's a lot of magical burst all the way out also. You've got a Hag Bad Blast as well as Dag from the Torture. So I would definitely expect a little bit of a Shrunken Head on Moon Queen as soon as he can possibly get it. But that's it. I am just completely amazed right now. What is Empress Hero going to be for today?
I think it could be a. Oh, I wanted to say Magmas, but it is banned out. I think it might even be that Pebbles, just to have even much more aggression with the Master of Arms and Engineer, and it's still very strong with Master of Arms because of the the power buff, the ultimate coming out from him, the offensive Master's Call. It can be very very useful. for a Pebbles like able to pick up kills really really quickly. It's gonna be Flux instead, so that's still interesting. That's in fact even better because it ties in really nicely with Engineer's energy field plus the Moon Queen Moon Finale.
That's correct. So now that this game is well underway, it's gonna be the Flux, and like you mentioned, Flux plus Moon Queen, a lot of extra chemistry that happening. Plus Flux and Engineer, that's a little bit of a combo of their own as well. Now the question is, has Emperor played Flux very successful before? I haven't really witnessed it, and I can't say much about that. So waiting to see whether he can perform as well on the Flux as he can on the Revenor. And that is some of those heroes that I have in my mind. That say Pebbles is still completely underdressed in this entire game, but he is not being picked. And that is a little bit worrisome to see. That said, I don't believe the Hellbound's going to pick that one as well. They don't have the carry. They may actually want to pick a Suicide as well just to make sure that Hack can be the carry there. I think it's probably going to be the case. They also don't have a main support hero, so they might actually want to address that. Seeing that they've already got a Kraken for the Suicide and the Torture and Pasty for the mid, you can also have Hack at the short lane. I think things are actually a bit more fixed up right now at the Hellbound side. The only thing that is missing is going to be the support. There is Blitz up for grabs. There's also the Andromeda. There is, well, a lot of heroes that are still very much available, despite the fact that Luna and Parameter have been banned out.
I mean, in this kind of sense, in this case, this kind of case, I would actually say that Pyromancer would be the perfect pickup for them. I don't think they should go for something like a Blitz. Blitz is kind of more towards a really, early game super aggression, but they could go for Lodestone. So I don't agree with that pickup because they already have that Kraken. Uh, the only support in that team is the Torturer. You can't. I guess it's going to be a secondary support. Lodestone, Shui has done that with quite some success over at Orange Esports side, but this is KID, so I don't really know whether or not they can pull it off. They still have a pretty strong lineup because the Pestilence has a lot of ganking potential with this Torturer Hag as well. They have that really really huge wombo combo, just like Legion team has. Like if Kraken gets a huge 5-man ult on top of on top of the setup from Pestilence, Impale Stun with a Lodestone and then a Bat Blast. You can just practically say goodbye to the entire Legion team.
Yep, and that is a lot of a scary combo all the way from KID. Don't forget that KID and Cycle 3 actually won Impunity Storm. So today they are up against a team that they have faced before. I do believe that there's a little bit of a change as compared to the the roster there, and of course changes are welcome, but is it going to be a different KID that will secure them a little bit more? But that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to use this opportunity to show you guys the table. And you have been asking for it for the past few days already, but this is the table all the way out for Cycle 4, Round 5, correct? I said yesterday. So this is the latest info that I have, and KID so far is at the bottom of this entire table. Standing about position number 16, they have got no points, and not a single point there. Yeah, that's right. And it's very different as a team compared to Cycle 3, 2, and 1. So I do believe they have a little bit of trouble trying to secure the original members. They have all dispersed to different teams as well. Not really sure where they went, but that's question. But the thing that is really, the thing that is really worrisome right now is Impunity Storm at only position 12, and they have only 5 points. Don't forget that statistically, we did a little bit of analysis. You have to have between 26 points to 33 points to make sure that you can qualify for the playoffs. That is, I do believe 26 point is cycle 2, where you don't need a lot of points in that particular cycle because Orange was steamrolling everyone, so it's pretty fair to say that. And that being said, they are still very far from that particular yardstick there. They are only at 5 points with only about 10 games left with effect from this one that we're watching today. I am a little bit worried as to whether they can meet the players or not. And like most viewers out there who are fans of Impunity Storm, I believe everyone will echo the same thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, 5 points on the verge of getting knocked into the lower bracket there from the four lower teams. I think they really want to make sure they win every single match that they can. They have been getting a couple of ties already, so it's not it's not as good as they wanted it to be. Oh, they're actually gonna say go right now. I think they're pretty much ready for this, but yeah, hopefully we get to see some good plays coming from Infinity Storm because they've been lacking quite recently.
Yep, that's it. Gonna use this opportunity right now to just introduce these players as well as teams. All the way from Legion side is Imperial Storm. They are in Thailand. That's gonna be Nova, the captain and drafter. That will be your engineer. We got MOA, his fellow soulmate. That's gonna be Vestom. And Moon Queen gonna be played by Nox in this game. Bubbles is gonna be played by Murph. Last but not least, Emperor gonna reprise his mid lane role, and that would be Deflux. And that's it on the help on side. KaiD also from Thailand. New Pets No Cry. That's the captain as well as Drafter. He's going to be the Pestilence. Ben 6 there. Looking really good on Lodestone. We also got Kraken, being played by Luke Mahapar. Luke, never mind, just call him Luke. Luke there is going to be your Kraken. That's a Peter994 will be your Torture. Last but not least, Hack. That's a little bit of a trouble right now. Will go down. And that's Okamgu with a Wretched Hack.
Yeah, that was a really good pickup there. Hag, man, you overextended way too much. He actually ran from the wrong direction. He ran through the river, right? So, yeah, I don't think that's the best decision over there for him. They are gonna be able to successfully defend that jungle, so the pull camp will be definitely in favor of Legion team. They can utilize that to gain map control. As for Legion team, they didn't even get a single ward off into the pull camp coming from the Hellborn team because they had actually set their heroes over there at the top lane, and there is going to be a ward of sight though being placed by Nova. I think that should have been spotted up by Peter994 as he placed his ward a little bit more earlier as compared to him.
Yeah, so that's a little bit sad to see. So maybe a little bit of a dewarding action that is going to happen at the mid lane, or rather the upper section of this segment of this river. That said, mid lane is going to be Nova plus Emperor again, against that of Ben 6 as well as Torturer. So both of those heroes there, I mean, in this kind of a mid lane lineup, which side would you actually prefer?
Definitely give more of the favor towards the Flux and Engineer. They can actually do more work as compared to a Lodestone Torture. Oh, well, actually, it's kind of hard to say. Like, it's gonna depend on the first couple of creeps, who like whether or not Flux is able to get more of that farm or Lodestone is. Like, especially the levels. Because if Lodestone has levels over Flux, I think they have much more kill potential. Because there's a decent, well, actually not decent. There's a sizable amount of nukes coming out from both Torture and Lodestone. They can pick off Engineer really, really quickly because Flux doesn't have anything to really disable them.
Yes, and that's it. It seems like Kraken is gonna have a little bit of trouble against Murph. He is just getting constantly harassed by the bubbles, and will actually go in for the extra splash damage there, but I don't believe it actually procced. Yeah, he doesn't have that, and that's why. Only level 1 there, and choosing to go with the Torrent because he is in the short lane. I am just amazed right now to see Kraken playing as a support, trying to support Wretched Hex farm, after Pestilence farm. What do you think about that one there?
Very bad. I mean, just the KID, the way they flamed this, and in fact even the drafting stage is just really, really bad, I have to say. No offense to the guys, but you can't really have your Lodestone running mid with a Torturer. Like, if they just followed like what like a page out of like Orange's book, like just have Pestilence and Torturer mid, you have your Kraken offlane there with something like a support Lodestone, then I definitely think it's even much more better. I think the reasoning here is the fact that they are banking on early teamfight aggressions, and they want to utilize that Lodestone Shatterstorm ultimate as much as possible, but you don't really have the luxury of doing that when you don't have a Pestilence that can't really gank. And Pestilence is like probably the hero on Hellborn team that they want to make sure that they get levels and farm.
Yeah, which is why I think that it's a little bit too protected to have the Peasants all the way to the top lane. But meanwhile, Bubbles, now it's going to get ganked there. And meanwhile, we also see a Ward of Wrath that will nicely spot out the Torturer. He's going to try and sidestep with the chain direction, but it is still going to connect. However, a very quick Shell Surf did save the Bubble, so that is really good to see. The Ward of Wrath there actually going to nicely spot a Ward of Sight. So it is also the one that actually saved the Bubbles because it did spot out that Torturer as well.
Yep, just really good presence of mind by Murph to place that ward right off the bat. I think that was probably even under the direction of Nova there. Really good job by her to actually put up that ward and to actually survive that gank. Still sitting at level 1 though. Finally is going to reach level 2, but still that's very, very good coming out from Murph because Kraken's not going to get anything done in this top lane. Middle lane
double
though.
Stuns already going out there, and take a little bit of a beating, but will be fine because he does have those muscles after all. So that's what he can use nicely. That's a knocks down stuff, having pretty good film so far. 360 GPM already, and it's just in a very good spot. Do know no kills just yet, and that's really good to see. Best I'm gonna be his pure support here. Gonna say hi to Okamgu, the Richard deck that's hiding behind the trees there, but she is going to be okay because she does have that Flash of Darkness at level 1, and that's just very critical. Most of these players, they don't know that Flash of Darkness is very critical on a Wretched attack playing as a Suicide. However, it's good to see that all the teams here in the G League know that is very basic, and I mean that's a little bit of a good thing to have take note of.
Yep, and Hag will definitely not be able to get much done, and he's another core hero on the Hellborn's team. Like, Hellborn is not looking good at all because Kraken is not getting farm, being played as more of that secondary support. Lodestone's having a hard time middle lane. Look at this, man.
Yep, Lodestone having a little bit of a nice cack to his face there. He's gonna have to be a little bit more careful, and that's a Torture is still in the vicinity, so I'm not too worried about Lodestone, but in general the farms don't look so good for him. Just gonna analyze the CS a little bit. Lodestone is actually just at about 13 and 4, whereas Flux is already about 15 and 6. So a little bit of a slight advantage for Team Legion. Definitely Nova not having a single kill at all, with a pretty good 3 denies there. Torturer is just floating all about the place like a goddamn ghost. That's a top lane Murph. Pretty good farm, 8 and 1 as compared to the Hack, which is of course on the other side of the map. Hack 0 and 0 there. So Bastom doing a lot of good work. I'm just glad that Murph is already at level 4, whereas Hack is only level 1. That's a melee little bit of engagement happening there. Impairment landing quickly, and Nova is gonna get a little bit of body block coming up from Flux there, but Emperor is going to be able to snack up the kill on to that Lodestone and might actually get a double tap here. He definitely needs that. Oh no, actually the first one going to Nova, so that's going to be 1 kill to each member there. That's very nice to see. 3 kill is to nothing so far at 5 minutes mark. 2.5k gold lead for the Legion side.
Yeah, good pickoffs over there in the middle lane for them. That's gonna that's definitely setting up the pace for this game right now, and even the bottom lane is really crushing KaiD right now. Like Hag is just forced to sit in this trees, and the lane has just been constantly controlled really well. Like Nox, he knows, I mean, he's the carry player for a lot of strong teams before, and he knows how to practically farm in lane without any issues at all. You see him is already level 6, he has 2k saved up, so can even go for a straight up steam boots, unless he wants to go for more of the farming route and just completely finish up the Whispering Helm and then translate towards the jungle, because there are a couple of stacks happening already done by Bastom, but yeah.
Yep, that's a little bit of harassment at the top lane here onto Mur playing the bubbles, but she should be fine, and that's a she's been ringing and doing a pretty good job so far for Team ImpunityStorm. Rocket Drill is going to connect on Engineer Hate Smash as well, but there is no Torture in the vicinity. He was a little bit too far. Needs to be really careful. That's it. Kraken level 3 is going to face off with the Flux. Level 5 and Flux looking around away quickly, but that Tsunami Charge is not going to connect, and that is going to be the recipe for escape there for Emperor.
Yeah, he is, and I would actually like to see him drop the Crushing Claws before using the Health Potion, because he's actually not getting the most out of the regen. He will eventually still reach that full HP, as you can see right there, so not much of an issue. But yeah, bottom lane, Moon Queen is gonna finish up the Steam Boots instead, so I actually do kind of agree with that. Like having those boots over the what's it called? The Whispering Helm is still, of course, a much more better choice, so that he can be able to translate betterly. Oh no, Hag's gonna die.
Yeah, meanwhile, bottom lane is going to have a little bit of trouble on the Hack there. Hack doesn't have the Flash of Darkness for the next 7 seconds, but trying to pop it away will not get it done though, and MO is going to stack up the kill. A little bit sad to see that the stun is actually forced to be used there to just try and snack up the kill before the pot is going to be possible. That's it. Mid lane, a lot of these KID members are actually here from the Hellborn side. In fact, Pestilence all the way abandoning the farm at the top lane, giving Murph extra space to farm, and that is not ideal at all because they are not achieving anything, and the chain reaction is going to connect onto the Flux, but Flux is going to be fine, and that is regrettable because that is complete waste of time. They're 2 minutes already, and they have achieved nothing at the mid lane. All 4 members, that is. Maybe even 5. Look at that. Hack's coming to the mid lane to join in the party.
Yeah, it's like mid wars or something, but yeah, I mean, just spending so many resources here in the middle lane is not effective at all when top is farming, bottom is farming, Bubbles is 6 already. He has Kelp Field and is able to set up for kills. I don't think they're gonna be able to pick up the kill on him here. Level 6 already on this Pestilence. He's in fact gonna go there in the trees, and there's nothing that they can do. Like they can't eat their way through that. They don't have any trees. Bottom lane is gonna be pushed down. ImpunityStorm is just completely in favor of this game.
Yeah, they are. They're doing so well in this game so far. 80 minutes in, already 4-0. 5k goal lead for Team ImpunityStorm. Doing a very good job so far. And that said, Hellborn team is very far behind in this entire game. They have already lost tier 1 at the bottom lane. And considering the fact that they don't have any single kill going in, plus the fact that they are carry, supposedly New Pants No Cry, playing as a Pestilence, is not having a pretty good farm so far. Only 260 GPM. Talking about GPM, let's just pull up the charts so far. We have got Nox about 450, and a nice little, well, let's say, correlation there as compared to the success is definitely the GPM there. So 450 on Nox and only 260 on both Lodestone and Pestilence. So that's the mid lane there. And even Emperor's farm is about 350. So that means the Emperor is doing a lot of the work against both the Lodestone as well as the Torture in the mid lane. And that is really remarkable to say.
Yeah, it is, and like the supports coming in from Legion team are actually getting much more gold and levels as compared to those on the Hellborn, and like on the Hellburn team, the supports, the so-called supports, are actually heroes that really need levels much more than the ones coming up from Legion, Legion side. Legion side, yes, of course. Once they hit the level 6, that's probably like the mark that they can actually stop. Here we go, top lane.
Yeah, top lane Merv, a little bit of trouble there, but Impel is going to pick up the kill quickly before the shell surf is going to be possible. That's because of a successful tsunami charge there. Definitely a lot of work going in by the Kraken. That's it. However, Kraken still only level 5 and not even level 6 yet. And not to mention the GPM of only about 112 there. Really miserable to see Kraken in this kind of state. I would definitely think that Kraken needs a little bit more extra tanky item, despite the fact that he's already inherently very tankish, kind of a hero, already at about and health at just level 5, but don't forget that you need good items going to big team fights, and so far if he doesn't have them, ImpS gonna have a field day picking off Kraken and having a lot of food there coming from those fat legs that he has. That's it. Well, definitely good extra coordination coming from both the engineer as well as Fluxer. The Audi going down both ways, and that's it. Lowstone is going to pay the price, and here comes the kill. Also, surrendering is going to be their torture. So that's it so far. I mean, 6-1, and that is really a huge statement. And with about 6k goal lead and still 2 tier 1 standing, I'm just thinking that once tier 1 goes down, it should be about 10k goal lead, and there's no way the Hell 1 team can come back unless, of course, the farm gets improved, or maybe even the pickup gets improved.
So yeah, they get a tier 1 mid. They get two kills over there in middle lane. Plus the fact that Bubbles came in, used the kelp field, got more levels on top of that. Actually missing the disjoint there with the takeover from the storm from Pestilence at top lane. But yeah, that's really good because they're getting much more farm on the rest of their teammates. Hellburn team just cannot find a placing. Actually top lane, man.
Merv actually going down again, so that is a little bit regrettable to see. 6-2 so far, 6k goal lead. And that's because Murph did get picked up, and Murph is so far the only player that has 2 death, and the opponent has got 2 kills, so we all know what's happening. Murph definitely playing the long lane, also known as the suicide lane, is actually technically speaking one of the hardest lane in the entire game, and I would definitely give her the respect, the fact that she's doing a pretty good job so far, but she needs to be a little bit more careful and not overextend, because that may actually ruin a little bit of the advantage the Legion team has so far.
Yeah, but at this point of the stage, I just feel like it's not even gonna matter because Moon Queen's already at 500 gold per minute. Finish Firebrand, probably gonna get shrunken head soon. Gonna run into Lodestone though. Can probably.
This is gonna be a kill if there's the Moon Finale. Yes, it is actually available. Once the Minotaur goes down, he should be able to pop that out and pick up the kill on Lowstone. But Lowstone does have a rocket drill, looking for a little bit of a stun, but Lowstone is able to run away. So that is again a lot of extra mobility coming up from the Lowstone. In fact, I would believe that if the Moon Finale was used, it could be a kill, but now they're playing it really safe there because he is not very confident on picking up that kill. That is the main reason why he saved up the ultimate. And that being said, however, there's already a portal key on the Flux, if I'm not wrong, and that would be a pretty good item on Emperor.
Yeah, it is a very good one. Like one portal key into like a couple of heroes on top of the engineer energy field, that's gonna spell doom for Hellburn team because Moon Queen's just gonna run in, use the Moon Finale, everyone's gonna be trapped like, oh shit, if we go out we're gonna die, if we stay in we're gonna die as well. So there's a lot of things that can happen on top of the kelp field as well, nonetheless.
So a lot of lockdown coming out on the Legion side. Don't forget as well, the Nox has got fantastic farm so far. Close to 500 GPM again, and that is a hallmark of success from Nox. That's it about the Firebrand already completed. They just need to make sure that, you know, they win this in a very safe and fashionable way, because don't forget that they need this win more than anyone else. And of course KaiD also looking for a good win here, but it doesn't really matter because there is no Cycle 5 for HoN Southeast Asia this season, so that's it. There is no relegating to any division after, even if they are in the lower 4 of this entire state table standing. So that is going to be fine for KaiD, but again, this being the last season, it means that they have got only one shot. That's it. However, best top playing as the Master of Arms is having a little bit of trouble there. He's gonna have to pop the ultimate, and here comes the Kraken. Tsunami charge, a little bit short there from the ultimate, but that Moon Finale might be able to pick up the kill on Kraken, and it is gonna be successful. The Kraken ultimate also being used there, but will not be helpful at all. That's it. Flux can pop the ulti, and that's gonna show the Torturer as being a little bit vulnerable so far. Merv, nice little sidestep there, and here comes Nox, gonna be able to land the Moonbeam quickly. Flux goes in for the kill, and that is gonna be possible. Nox is picking it up. So that is going to be a double tap there out for the carry.
Yeah, huge plays coming out from impunity.storm. Good support there. Very good rotations. Like you saw the bubbles come in, kelp field, bass stomp. You know, in most cases people would kind of like panic in that situation, but he played that really nicely. He used the Master's Call, stunned out the Kraken, ran towards the left side, and that's when Moon Queen was like Moon Queen was already porting, by the way, when all of that was happening, and Bubbles was in the vicinity, dropped the kill field, dropped the Moon Finale. You can't do anything other than just die. Like you run out, you get stunned, then you get Moonbeam to death, or you stay in, you still get Moonbeam to death. So that's what happened. Top lane though.
Yeah, now top lane, a little bit of action happening there, and it seems like Bubbles is going to be fine. The health potion is going to be popped out there, but don't forget that that is a lowstone that Bubbles is facing on. The lowstone still has got the ultimate off. The Shadow Storm is off cooldown, waiting for the next Rocket Drill to try and attempt a kill here. But that's it, 14 minutes going to be up already, 9-2, and already close to 10k gold lead for Team Legion. Impunity Storm in a really good spot right now. The only thing that is lacking is, of course, the top lane tier 1 push, as well as a little bit more extra item on Nox as well as the rest of the members, just to make sure that this game can be ended in that fashion. That's it, however, KaiD very far behind, and examining the items so far, only Pestilence has got a Potter Key, and he does have the potential to make a lot of difference in this kind of a game, but he needs to have the rest of his teammate to cooperate, and that is going to be a little bit of trouble because there is nothing on the Lodestone, and nothing on the Kraken, plus nothing on the Torture, and virtually nothing on the Hack, so that's in fact almost everyone else can for KaiD. Pestilence gonna try and put a little bit of extra pressure on Bastom, but Bastom, the MOA is gonna be fine, and calling the rest of his mates coming in to try and make sure a little bit of a salvation is gonna happen here. The Cafe is gonna connect quickly, so is the CAC, and there goes Pestilence. He is definitely in a lot of trouble going down as well. That's it, Shadowstorm's gonna be challenging, and Lowstone looking for a kill on Murph. Murph a little bit of trouble there, and it's gonna get picked up there because of the quick torrent coming from Kraken. However, Nova is having a little bit of overextension, and he's gonna have to try and run away. That extra energy field is gonna try and save it, but here comes Nox, and this is gonna be a nice little clean sweep here. Bastom with the double tap there, so that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That's gonna be a concede vote already. 15 minutes in, and KaiD is done.
Wow, that was a super quick CC. Damn. Yeah, just got stomped in that match, I have to say. Sorry for using the word stomp, but that was insane. Like, the way that they backed each other up was really nice. Like, Bastomp and Nova, it seemed like, I mean, like, this is how Infinity Storm should always be played. Like, constantly knowing that, having that communication factor in between when they're playing the game, and, supporting each other whenever they know that they can still survive. That's really good communication coming out from Infinity Storm right there. You can actually tell from how it was going. Like, Nova and Bastom, they weren't afraid when they were taking on like like huge heroes coming from Hellborn team. Energy field on top of that Goo, that did a shit ton of damage, and then the support from Moon Queen that came in at last second, well, not really last second, but near the tail end of that engagement, helped the rest of teammates use the Moonbeam, got pick up the kill, and secured the rest of the teammates' safety. So really well played by Infinity Storm.
Yeah, that is a huge observation apart. That said, Imperial Storm, congratulations. Game 1 going your way as well. So Game 2 gonna be well on the way soon. This is Babael. Joining me today is Lark. We'll be back with more action quickly, so do sit tight and see you guys soon. Goodbye.